And our 3-2-1 pills. The 4-seed Packy against the 5-seed Savage Octagon. Anything and everything could and probably will happen. Packy with a quick start, but already out of red access there on that top line. Fortunately for him, he's not really getting any red pills, so that's going to help him out a little bit.
Yeah, Savage, meanwhile, is facing a pretty heavy red-yellow block in the top of her board. She is able to find places to put blues, but those places are quickly dwindling, except for she gets blue yellows, which is the one pill that she could have had a use for earlier. Now she's got a use for most everything again, and that's what you want to see in one of these levels as pack. These double blues, that double blue is very handy, enabling him to get a lot more than he needed. But that double red over on the top of column 8, I didn't see it go down. I have to imagine it was a misdrop, but that's going to slow him down because he's going to have to build up to it instead of down, unless he can dash it. He does.
It barely gets that over. Yeah, that red was one of those ones. He got a double red when he didn't have anywhere else to put it, so I think he just threw it over there. Fortunately, he was able to get that over before the speed increased too much on him. But as of right now, it is Savage with a 1 virus lead, and with this red, she is going to be out first at a 124, but Packy not far behind at a 129. Very close match, and oh, what a starting sequence for Savage.
Yeah, you got to think she's loving what she's seeing right here, and that it's not showing on her face. Whatever's happening, that is not going to show on her face right now. She is. I can see it now. It's very intense. Of course, I can't actually see it because she's got it blocked off. Strategy I used earlier, and I highly recommend it at this point.
May have to try that one of these days. We'll see.
Yeah,
All right.
but
Anyway, getting back to the game here. Savage with so many double opportunities. This just is a speedrunner's dream for this board. All the blues are bunched up together there in the center of her board. She, if she wanted to, she could try to build up for a blue fat log, but it's highly. I don't recommend it.
and on Packy's side, that's a whole lot of yellow that's left compared to the amount of red and the amount of blue. He's already starting to get some creative uses of his yellow. Um, oh, and I like the setup for the double, or for the horizontal there. And yeah, it looks like he's going to do another horizontal on the reds, dropping down to the blue. Just really heads up play for Packy, but it is still Savage down to her last two. And she's starting to get the pill. Wow, gets exact pills she needs. She's out of 258.
Sub 3. That's one of the times that we'd expect to see out of level 8 and level 6. Savage is just on fire right now. And I'm not gonna sing it because we get DMCA'd, but she's just doing a heck of a job here job rather, as Packy out at a 319. But we know what kind of a player Packy is. He is capable, and that combo right there proves that he can get back into this very quickly.
Yeah, Savage with a pretty red top line it's slowing her down. She really doesn't have access to yellow right now, and that's going to be a pain color for a hot minute. Would love to see. Well, now she gets a yellow that she doesn't really need. She wants to drop this combo off without garbage. I don't think that's going to happen. Just the doc is not going to allow it. Well, I'm wrong sometimes. There it is. The double yellow or double red just did not seem like it was coming, but 3 virus difference now 2 back up to 3 between these two players.
Yeah, both players doing a very good job. Packy taking some drop time, but gets into a dropped sweet tea. Very nice play there by Packy. 14 for now, 13 for Packy, 11 for Savage Octagon, setting up for a horizontal there at the bottom of her board to get those blues. Just going to need to clear the reds out. It shouldn't be too big of a pain point for her. In fact, she's going to get one of the reds and thought she might go for an L, might do the red horizontally, but does not go for that. Instead gets the fat log with the pills at the bottom of her board. Just going to need 2 more reds and she'll be out of this level 10. There's 1, there's 2, 452, but Packy right on her heels.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on how long Packy's got. It's 3 more reds. There's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. So about 12, 13 seconds difference between them as they go into the final level of this block. Savage, again, not having as much red access as she would probably like. There is a pair of double blues on the right-hand side. Savage, don't go for it. Uh,
Oh,
as I understand it, that was my downfall. So, you know, maybe be careful. But she is going to build up to it a little more safely, a little less haphazardly than I did. And that is the smart way to go about it. You're
there
going
it
to get
is.
just the right pill and create minimal garbage. Garbage that, honestly, if it had been flipped the other way, would have been perfect to drop down onto the next set of viruses. But it's not going to matter in the end as she is clearing out the extra garbage there. Now
Packy's
it's
in a
Packy with
situation.
the lead.
Yeah, but Packy's in a situation where he needs blue and yellow desperately. Finally, is able to open up some red access there on the right side of his board, and now he doesn't even have access to yellows except for that one that he just opened up there in his column 8. He's done a really good job opening up the access to what he doesn't have. But if he doesn't continue to get some blues, this is going to be really tough for Packy to get back into as Savage down to 12, but Savage needing a lot of red, Ook.
Yeah, it's been back and forth so far as Savage just now getting really most of what she needs. Is going to take a horizontal here. I wonder if she's thinking horizontal followed by vertical. Note she sees the double yellow. That's going to free up the blue. That's going to give her a chance to do these reds horizontally. So she needs a blue and a red. Gets the blue first. That's actually ideal for her. Red out at a 652, and Savage will take game number 1 as Packy down to just his last virus out at a 701.
Wow. 652, which is not even in the top 20 of hot times. It's bonkers, but hey, a 9-second difference. This is exactly what we expected to see. A very close game from both of these players. I'm all for it, and I know Savage is all for it. 1 game Savage, 0 game Packy. We go into game 2.
Yeah, and that level 11, I mean, it was back and forth the whole way. Either one of them could have had it. And yeah, as evidenced by the fact that it was only 9 seconds by the time it was all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if Packy will move his camera up to hide the bottom half of his face. We know that's been a very successful strategy in the back or in the past, and who knows, maybe he will decide that's what the strategy is again. And he's listening to chat. All right, little peeky going on. Dropping peekies in the chat, folks.
Savage taking a second to breathe. Um, we have it ready from her. We have it ready from Packy. We have it ready from our restreamer. 3, 2, 1, pills.
All right, so usually the game after a loss for Packy is a slaughter. Let's see if that holds true to form as don't really like what Savage is given to work with by the doc.
Oh, look at the double red
But
though.
look at what she's gonna make. Yep, that was really nice. But look at the lack of red on the top of her board. Packy running into a similar problem with his yellow access. Does finally get down to some yellow access, but it's been tough for Savage so far, but, so far the doc has been kind enough to not make it too big of a deal.
Yeah, both players are having to make some really weird plays. Packy, you see, has got this potential for this huge red horizontal, and I gotta think he's probably gonna go for it. The problem is he's got to clear out that yellow to do it, and as of right now, the game is just not giving him any yellow whatsoever until just now.
Yeah, and I think okay, yeah, now he's gonna wait for a red-blue or hope for a red-blue. I imagine this yeah, there we go. That's gonna work out. Now he needs well, that works. I was gonna say something with a yellow in it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over on Savage's side, she's thinking horizontals, I think, with these blues on the bottom, especially given the bit of a mess she's got on top of this one blue. Decides not to take the middle one horizontally. That makes sense. And is just, what, 3 blues away. Isn't getting any of them. There's 1. There's 2. Packy needing just 2 reds. There's 1. There's 2. Both players with similar problems and out at similar times.
Yeah, I think Packy was about 6 seconds or so behind Savage. It's still a very close game here. Do not love this opening board for Savage. Would love to see a double red for her. That would really hope to help to open things up. And commentator's blessing. There it is. You're welcome, Sav.
Yeah, checks in the mail, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, now she doesn't need any reds after that for a little bit, as the board layout not the friendliest. On Packy's side, he's setting up for a horizontal as well. He's going to get the blue that he needs for that and makes quite a nice drop down. Unfortunately, the blues that he's getting are not as helpful as they could be. And yeah, that's just the dock for you.
Savage would love to see a red yellow right now and get this fat log at the bottom. She does get it. Now her main pain point now is blues. She's got to get those blues on that right side to open up the rest of her board. And she does start to get the blue. She does have the opportunity to clear out this yellow at the bottom horizontally, and thus opens up the opportunity to clear out the red as well horizontally. We'll see if she goes for that. She does signal that she's going to go for that. She's going to take out the upper red first. And with that double red, she'll be out at a 315 of her level 9.
Interesting choice by Packy not using a double red. He's trying to avoid drop time, but I think it's costing him just a little bit. It may not end up mattering, as if this board is a provide you with double red or red yellow, it wouldn't have mattered. But looks like that is what the case is, and he's going to be out of 341. Difficult end game for Packy, but he manages to work his way through it and is now into level 10 alongside Savage.
Yeah, Savage is in desperate need of some yellows here. Thought she might go for the yellows in column 2 just to open up some red access. She elects not to do that. And we'll see how that works out for her, as she does manage to open up some reds now, but still a lot of yellow on this board for Savage. Looking over at Packy's board, it's a story of needing reds on his side. And I haven't seen really what's led up to this, but that's a lot of red for Pack.
Yeah, no, that was just the way the board was built to begin with, unfortunately for Packy. And now it's really being a problem for him. He's going to be able to make some creative clears here, get that horizontal yellow. He's hoping to get a blue yellow at a time. Yep, there he goes. When he can work it down lower into the board. And now gets the double reds when he really doesn't have access to those reds up at the top of his board, and even has to burn one just to try to get this combo going.
Yeah, props to Packy though for that difficult tuck towards the bottom of that to get the clear. That is not an easy move to make, especially on high speed. But it's going to be Savage out of level 10 first at a 504. She would love to put Packy away here and move on to play tomorrow. Packy really wants to get back into this game, but he's going to need reds and he's going to need yellows to get to do it.
Yeah, luckily a red yellow is kind of the most common piece for you to get, it feels like. Unfortunately, it's just taking its sweet time getting to him. He would love a double yellow here. Ah, there it
There
is.
it is.
That's clear out his right-hand side. This other double yellow is going to clear his left. He's out at a 539, but has about 16 viruses to catch up. So we've seen crazier things happen, and Packy and Savage have both been involved in them. So I would definitely not sleep on either player at this point.
Yeah, indeed. And I was fixing to say the exact same thing. You know, we've seen so many times where it looks like one player is in complete control and then the game takes over and it's the other player that emerges victorious or even ends in a tie. We've seen that happen a lot of times. But Savage is just doing a really great job. And this double red, exactly what the doctor ordered for her. She is looking like she's doing pretty well here. A little bit of garbage there with that red on top in column 3, but I think if she's able to clear out these blues horizontally, she could clear the yellow from underneath. We'll decide what she decides to do, or she may just go vertically, which she does.
And Packy has been roaring back. He's down to just less than 10 viruses behind. Has made just a perfect set of plays in this level 11. In the end, if it is not enough, it is not going to be because of lack of his play. And in fact, it is not going to be enough as Savage is out at a 658. But GG's to Packy and props on a massively amazing level 11 I think he needs to finish it. So there's one, there's two, and Pacquiao to 716. GG's to both players. Savage will go on to face Adelito tomorrow in semifinal Sunday. That's the look on her face with the win. The
Yeah.
look on her face when she realizes who she's got to play will probably be a little different.